Child-free by choice has invaded my FYP and I want off this ride. If you hate kids, say less.
This particular one is coming for child-free by choice people, telling them that they don't like children because they are child-free by choice. They don't want to be around children, maybe because they hate children, meaning that is why they are child-free. How does that even make sense? I'm going to play these videos to the end, then come back and talk about it.
Child-free by choice has invaded my FYP and I want off this ride. If you hate kids, say less. I've been child-free for most of my adult life. My son is 2. But some of the stuff that you guys are saying about children and parents, and let's be honest, it's about moms, you guys are not safe. It's this vibe of like, well, you chose to have children and now you must suffer in all things in perpetuity. Your PTO, your plane rides, your trips to Disney. When I hear these things, it really doesn't surprise me that women go through so much postpartum anxiety and depression, and that there are a lot of parents that leave the workforce because they don't feel supported. If you are childless and child-free by choice, and you support parents and mothers like me, thank you.
Alright, hey guys, my name is Maria David and welcome back again to my YouTube channel. This channel is for educational and commentary purpose, so if you have anything you want to say down in the comment section, feel free to put it down in the comment section. Put your opinion down in the comment section. I have so much to say about this particular topic, but there are other creators and child-free by choice men that stitch this video and they have a lot to say as well, so I'm going to put their stitches in this video.
Child-free by choice has invaded my FYP and I want off this ride. If you hate kids.
Excuse me, what? First of all, why does not wanting kids have to always equate to you guys thinking that we hate kids? Or like your comment section, assume that it's some kind of trauma that we don't want children. And yet you guys call us misogynistic. Okay. I've been on child-free TikTok for a while and I've never seen the judgment that you're talking about. It's usually people who are child-free clapping back at the entitlement of parents and the judgment that we face for being child-free. Especially the assumption that you guys have a monopoly on things like being stressed, broke, and tired, because we couldn't possibly understand what that's like because we don't have kids. And in the workplace, people with kids definitely get a priority over those who don't. I've literally been forced to move my PTO, doctor's appointments, and work a holiday that I wanted off because I don't have a family to spend time with because I didn't have kids. You made the choice to have kids. That's not my problem.
You hate kids. Say less.
See, I call bullshit because the only time that I've ever seen anyone ever say that people who are child-free hate kids and parents are from parents. The child-free community is a community of people who have something in common. They are child-free. We didn't form a community to hate parents and kids. We formed a community to be able to connect with other people who are experiencing similar things in their life. Now, this may come to a shock for you, but people who are child-free get a lot of shit for being child-free. Meanwhile, if you choose to have a child in this society, you are praised for it. That said, I understand that being a parent is tough as shit, which is why I don't want to be one, because studies show that being a parent equates to 2.5 jobs. The funny thing is people who have children think that people who are child-free are trying to pick on them, when really, in society, people who are child-free get picked on. Can we just live our lives in my...
This vibe of like, well, you chose to have children and now you must suffer.
Okay, round 2, the Madonna whore complex. Let's see if you have the same empathy for Madonnas as you do for whores. For context, this woman is complaining that because she pumped out babies and because she's a working mom, that people have a lack of empathy for her. When we all know that the reality is that working parents, particularly working moms, willingly chose to be working moms, and yet they still use the excuse to bitch and moan as if they're just untimely victims. And we all know the reality that there is a subset of parents, particularly moms, who make being a mom their entire personality. You see it a lot on social media, especially Facebook, and even now on TikTok, where these momzillas form herds and gangs and take over entire corners of the internet and make it all about being a mom. And here's what I have to say to you type of people. You may have chosen to fall into the Madonna whore complex and fall into the stereotype of the Madonna and fit every traditional feminine gender role that was assigned to you. However, we do not have to play that game. It is not a lack of empathy. It is you being responsible for all facets of your being, not just being a mother.
You chose to have children and now you must suffer in all things.
Hey here. childless adult, and I'm guessing you're going to consider, due to the nature of a lot of my content, that I might criticize this person. But in general, I understand their frustration. I have some friends with kids, and they do their best to manage the stress of raising a child with considering other people who did not ask to have any of that stress put on them. But the problem with child having couples arguing with childless adults is that we're not focusing our energies at the right place, which is of course capitalism. You knew that it was going to go here. It's your game, mommy, and I'm very left. But see, the situation statistically is that roughly about 80% of people are going to have children at some point in their life. At least one, but oftentimes multiple, right? And at any given time, roughly about half of the people in the United States have minors. That means baby all the way up to 17 years old. They have children that are going to school, children that have extracurricular activities, children that have medical needs, children that have time needs to be raised as emotionally functional adults, right? And what happens when these people need accommodations? Well, of course, the employers of the world constantly put that work on people who haven't had children yet, have had children, but they're already adults and out of the house, and people who don't have children, which is roughly about 15 to 20% of people, just are never going to have children, right? I think the last number was like 16% of people over the age of 55 don't have children, and that number is going to keep increasing here. But the weird thing about this is that the villain here is not the people having children. We want people to spend time with their kids, to show their kids that they are important and loved. We also want people to be able to have vacation. We want them to have maternal and paternal leave. We want them to be able to be comfortable and confident that their kids are happy, healthy, and secure, right? And that they have opportunities to invest in the time with their children and raise them with love and affection and quality time, right? But it's frustrating for those that don't have children because companies always put the weight on us, right? So if you're frustrated because a company constantly gives preferential treatment to people with children, right, for time off or emergencies and everything like that, look at that company and ask them why, when they knew that roughly at least half of their staff would actively have minors, that over 4 out of 5 of their staff would always have had experiences with children, why they didn't build into their profit models that needs to be considered, right? It's capitalism's fault. It's capitalism we should be mad at, not each other.
Child-free by choice has invaded my FYP and I want off this ride. If you hate kids, say
Okay, but most people that are child-free by choice don't hate kids. Like, sure, we don't want to have them, but we aren't going out of our way to make their lives inconvenient. The problem is when people that do have children, mothers, fathers, it really doesn't matter, make them having children everybody else's problem. In fact, the people that I hear making the worst jokes about hating kids are parents. But you don't get a free pass or special privileges for having kids, and you do have to deal with the consequences of having children, like having to leave work, having to do this, having to do that, because you have children. It's not our problem. And I hate the whole mentality, it takes a village, because it's not my kid and I'm not helping you raise it. And it's not our fault that you couldn't plan to take off PTO.
For me, when people say they're child-free by choice, it doesn't even mean that they hate children. Sure, they even love children even more than you that have a child. Because when I see people that are child-free by choice, the way they relate to children, it's not like they don't love them at all. It's just they don't want them. They don't want to have the response. They don't want to have the workload of being a mom. They don't want to, have that responsibility. Or maybe they are going through some trauma from their childhood trauma and they just want to clear their head, or they just want to live their life. They want to be able to travel around the world alone with their spouse, or they just don't want to have that burden of being a mom. Doesn't mean that they don't love children. And I don't get it why people, when you say, especially part of this world that I am in Nigeria, if you say you want to be child-free by choice, it's like you're possessed. It's like they will have to pour you holy water and start giving you deliverance. Because why would you say you want to be child-free by choice? That means you hate children. And that doesn't basically mean that you hate children. It's just because you have your own reasons, and it is not even because you hate children. If you see the way these people behave to children, people that are child by choice, you would just even, you'd be like, are you sure you don't like children? Are you sure you're not gonna, you know, change your mind at the end of the day? Because the way you are relating to kids is way different from your own opinion, and that is it. Because I really don't get it why people feel like people that are child free by choice hate kids. And that's so much I can take on this video. If you have any other further opinion down in the comment section, I would love to hear from you guys. And thank you guys so much for watching my content to this point. My name is Maria David, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it to whoever I find it helpful, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.